morning is an interesting one. We're doing something that's very unique to Luang Prabang, which is the alms ceremony.
Every single morning, the monks will come from their temples and do processions around the city, and the people of Luang Prabang will give offerings to them.
Now, there's a few rules too. You want to be respectful of the monks. It's important to stay quiet, and you want to maintain your distance from them as well.
It's not meant to be a tourist attraction, so if you're there to observe it
Great.
in the most respectful way possible.
A little history before we get there. This alms ceremony has been said to be going on for as long as Buddhism was introduced to Laos, which some say it traces back to the 14th century. These monks, they take the offering, which is usually sticky rice, and it's also said that is the only meal that they get to eat per day.
Luang Prabang is a quiet, small town located in the north of Laos. And it's also nestled right next to the Mekong River, which if you've never seen it before, it looks like a giant flowing river of chocolate milk. We're taking advantage of the fact that we are awake so early, and we're gonna get a head start on our day and head to one of the most amazing waterfalls you've ever seen. It's called Quang Si.
We were there last year at Quang Si, and we're hoping it's just as beautiful this year, despite the rainy season.
It's about a 45-minute ride out to the waterfall. There's a small entrance fee, and you'll see exactly why it's worth it in just a little bit. We decided to rent a motorbike simply because it's how we like to get around, and it's actually a little bit cheaper than the tuk-tuks. A tuk-tuk or private van will run you 200,000 kip to go round trip to Quang Si, versus a motorbike, which will cost you about 100,000 kip plus gas.
So honestly, if you're with a group of like 4 to 6 people, 200,000 divided up isn't bad at all. If you're just 2 people, a motorbike makes more sense.
And it's more fun. So the entrance to Quang Si waterfall is 20,000 kip per person. If your child happens to be under 8 years of age, they can get in for free.
And we're in. There's multiple ways of getting in. This bottom level right here will take you through the bear sanctuary, but if you just follow that road up like everybody else, it'll take you to like the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th level of this waterfall. It has a lot of levels.
What's cool about the Bear Rescue Center here is that they basically save bears that are used for Chinese medicinal purposes. So there's a good amount here, and it's a fun little added addition on your way to go see the waterfall.
If you're wondering what the Chinese are doing with the bears, we have no idea. Just kidding, they're using them for stomach bile.
They basically extract the juices from their gallbladder, if you will, and use it as medicine.
So yeah, there's that. And that's why they're here. They're being saved. It's honestly very admirable that the park even has this conservation for the bears, and that the Laotian government has cracked down on bears being used or harvested for their stomach bile. Really cool stuff. I'll tell you one thing, it is not the same in the dry season as it is in the wet season. We will not be swimming in it this year. The little area behind us right now, we were actually walking across last year, but there's no chance at all that this year is terrible. Still cool to be here and observe it though.
There's basically different tiers and levels before you get to the main attraction. And when you get to the main attraction, there's nothing else like this place.
completely different than when we came last year, but definitely worth coming and check out and peeping its ferocity. I mean, I feel like Jim Cantori, like I'm tracking the storm or something like that. It's wild.
This waterfall is absolutely gorgeous. It's probably one of our favorites, but you should see what this thing looks like in dry season. If you have the time and the weather's nice, make a point to take the hike up to the top of Mount Fuji.
There are a lot of steps leading up, but the sunsets are totally worth it. One more thing to do when you're in Luang Prabang, and inevitably you'll run into it. It's the walking street market.
It happens every single night and it lines the main artery street of the town. So you really can't miss it. They have everything from your typical items that you would find at really any night market in Southeast Asia, but what makes it unique and special is they actually have handcrafted, unique items to Luang Prabang itself.
So moving right along, passing the night market, and at the end of it,
you want to keep walking forward because that's where you're going to eat dinner, quite possibly every night.
There's a place that's set up a little bit further down past the market, and Jen and I have nicknamed it Veggie Alley, and you'll see why in just a second.
How it works is you get one bowl, it costs 15,000 kip, and you fill it up as high as you can with as much stuff as you can one time. That's it. It's the best deal that you're gonna find here.
We nicknamed this place Veggie Alley, not because it's exclusively vegetarian, but because the main 2 stars of the shows here are these all-you-can-eat or buffet type style setup where it's just a smorgasbord of all things vegetarian. So you get a lot of potatoes, greens, rice, noodles, crispy chips, fruit. Actually, I think the only thing not vegetarian or maybe not vegan would be the eggs that they have there. But if you're a carnivore or if you eat meat, don't worry. They also have people here that have stands set up where they're grilling fish and chicken and beef, sausage, all kinds of other things. So one way or another, you'll be in good standing when you come here. Just make sure you do one thing. Get here fairly early. The place opens at 6, and if you're not here, it can get pretty crowded. Okay, so right outside Veggie Alley, you want to make sure you save your appetite for some dessert. And the reason why is because there's like 3 to 5 ladies that are lined up selling these things called coconut pancakes. What are they exactly? Well, it's like a coconut batter that's poured into a molded cast iron pan, heated up, but not all the way cooked through, so it's still a little bit jelly-like, and that's basically it. Then you eat them with toothpicks, and they are delicious. They're like little coconut cream pillows. Is that the best way you describe it? A little coconut cream pillow?
Yeah. Raphael, you look like you're telling a scary story.
This is better.
Hello. Oh, it's okay. Bugs.
Goodbye! It's a tokay gecko, and it is massive. It's probably around 8 inches long.